I was knocked unconscious. Either it was during the fall or when I actually finally landed, you know, riding the rubble, whatever was happening. I opened up my eyes and it was just blue sky, right? A field of rubble. I'm on this like little ledge of broken concrete, looking down at an open pit, you know, and you hear like crackling, like the fire there and stuff like that around. And everything looked beautiful and clear. And I was like, I thought it was gonna like, you know, you see those movies and you think you're gonna like rise up out of your body and then see yourself there like, you know, dead, and now you're going somewhere else, and you know, stuff like that. So you kind of like feel like the Patrick Swayze movie, right? What is that? The Ghost, right? Ghost. You know, split second. I mean, I'm not like, I wasn't thinking, but you know, like I was numb at that point. All I see is like, I knew because it was just a flash, and I opened up my eyes, and I'm thinking, wow, that's, you know, I'm dead, right? I gotta be dead. So I'm gonna float up out of my body and see myself.
Wow, I have a headache.
Because I'm here,
I'm dead with a headache.
Right? So, and then I'm like, I started to feel pain in my foot and my leg, and I started coughing, and I was drenched.
In debris.
And I just sat back, I was like, I'm alive. I can't believe I'm alive. Like, I couldn't, you know, I was like, I'm like looking around, you know. First, I couldn't believe myself that I survived. And I'm looking around at you know, everything going on. Now it started to get dark again, because it would clear sometimes, and then you would get the smoke coming in, and then start to, you know, cloudy up and stuff. And I started calling out for, you know, for other people. I'm like, you know, hello, Pat, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like,
in what position?
The same way I'm sitting here. I had the same way I'm sitting here. I was on concrete. There was a giant pipe. It was a standpipe. It was for the fire suppression in the building. Mm-hmm. There was a pipe here, which, I mean, I have a theory on that, but there was all sorts of like conduit, broken conduit, rubble, and then it was just concrete behind me, like a mountain. It was like, picture me like on a mountain of rubble, on the edge of one of the pieces of rubble on the end of that, and then
you could look down.
There was a beam, and then a whole field, and then just an open pit
that you could see,
that I could see down into. So there was no way I couldn't. I'm like, even at that moment, I'm like, you know, I didn't want to fall into that, or you know, so but I had nowhere to go. And then I knew my foot was broken, because I felt it was like, you know, felt like it was swelling and stuff, and I was just sitting there. I was just kind of calling out for help, just waiting, and just astonished myself. I was like, you know. So I was knocked unconscious, like I said, probably, you know, looking back now, maybe 2-3 hours or so, something like that. And then I started to, you know, kept calling out every once in a while. And then I saw someone, he was about maybe 75, 80 yards away, on a like a bullhorn, right? And I said, hey, you know, hey, help, you know, I'm over here. And he looked at me, he goes, yeah, he goes, you know, people are coming. So I finally see one guy, he's searching the rubble, and I see him going. So I yell out to him, and there's 4 that saved me that day. I yell out to him, and I go, hey, you know, help, I'm up here. And he goes, yeah, what do you need? And I was like, what do I need? I said, I don't know, I can't get down. He goes, you need a rope or something? What? He thought I was another fireman searching the rubble, because I was just sitting there, right? So like,
oh, you thought you were being lazy?
Yeah, right. I was like, I'm just got stuck climbing this thing, looking for people, right? I said, no, I can't get down. I don't know. I'm just. Who are you? I said, I was in the building. I don't know. I collapsed. I'm here. I don't know. He goes, holy shit. He goes, we got a civilian up there. And he got on the radio, you know? And he goes, all right, hang tight. We'll get to you. Hold on.
You know, the phone started ringing, and then it wasn't Pasquale. And people that knew that he worked down there were calling and wanting to find out, you know. And then I had spoken with him again. You would pick up the phone and you put it down and say, I haven't heard anything, I'm sorry, I'll let you know. And you put the phone down, and constantly it would ring again, it would ring again, it would ring again. So I said, I just can't. I said, just somebody answer the phone. Don't be long. Just if it's Pasquale, I only want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to anybody.
So now 3 other firemen join him, and I can see they're looking at me, you know. And one guy has the, you know, the ropes and all that stuff. He was like the specialist, the rigger type person that we call, you know. So he's looking at me, and he's like, all right, we'll get to you. And then I see him, you know, he's small in stature, but, you know, solid. And he starts climbing the rubble, you know, and I see him. So now I'm on this like little mountain there, down there, and there's open pit and the beam, and then he starts climbing. I see him, and then he disappears, and I don't see him. You know, and I remember they were talking and stuff, and saying stuff, and they're looking, and then all of a sudden I heard rumbling behind me, and it was like maybe like a little bit of space, not much, but, you know, a little bit, and he just kind of wiggled his way down right behind me. He's like, all right, he goes, we're gonna try to get you down. Let me, you know, let's see what we have here. And he started like tugging on stuff and shaking on things, and, you know, I had the pipes here, and then so he takes the rope and he makes this cradle out of it, right? A rope cradle, right? And he goes, all right, he goes, if you can, he goes, here, take this and, you know, swing it under you. So I put it, you know, under my legs here, and then the other one kind of, you know, the other loop was under here, and he's got the rope, and he made a couple of loops around this piece of pipe or steel. And he's like, all right, what I need you to do is just kind of, you know, get to the edge and just kind of push yourself off, you know? And I'm like,
you push me off. Push yourself.
I had to get down from there, right? So I'm looking at him like, he's a small guy. I mean, he's solid, but, and so I didn't want to embarrass him. You know, even then I was like, you know, I'm not, the guy's here to save my life. I'm like, you know, you're going to be able to hold me? You know, so I was like, I don't know, is that rope strong enough? And that pipe? He goes, yeah. He goes, that rope's rated for 600 pounds. Don't worry about it. You know, we're good, or whatever it was, or 12, you know. He goes, yeah, just, he goes, I got you. He goes, just, I said, okay. And I grabbed the rope like this, and I just kind of, you know, rolled myself off. And I fell maybe a couple of feet or so, 3, 4, 5, you know, whatever. And then boom, you know, and I started swinging a little bit.
Okay.
And he started to lower me down to the other guys. And now, you know, I'm in this like rope cradle, and I'm just like kind of spinning around a little bit. And one of the firemen, I think it was Mike Lyons, beautiful man, but so he grabbed my foot, and that's when I knew. I was like, holy shit, my leg's broken, you know, my foot, because I felt this like sharp pain. And they pulled me over to the beam, and he goes, can you stand? You know, as they were lowering me, he was like pulling me over so I didn't fall into the pit, and then, you know, landed on the beam. So, you know, I got there, then the other fireman got in front of me, behind me, and he goes, can you stand up? I said, yeah, let me try to stand up. So I put pressure on I stood up on my foot. I was like, ah. He goes, we got some climbing to do. He goes, you're gonna be able to get out of here. So I said, yeah, I'll try. So we started to make our way, and pretty much climbing over this rubble to get out to the West Side Highway. And now they're behind me, you know, make sure I don't fall. They still have like kind of like a rope around me, and you know, the pain was kind of getting to me at this point, because it ended up being a fracture of my cuboid and my foot. You know, I was trying to get out of there, and I'm climbing, and then all of a sudden I felt a little, you know, like I was gonna pass out. You know what I mean? So I'm like, hey, can you do me a favor? I said, just let me sit for a minute. I said, you know, he said, yeah, all right. So I sat down, and they must have looked at me and assessed me. Like, he goes, yeah, you're kind of pale. He goes, all right, relax. He goes, we got it from here. So I was like, all right. So then they got this plastic gurney, and they brought it out, strapped me in, and they started passing me from one guy to another. So now they're dragging me across the rubble, you know. And they're dragging me across the rubble, one guy to the next. And I'm there, and all of a sudden this piece of wood, I guess one of the firemen, or pipe, or I think it was a pipe, he steps on the pipe and kicks right up, and boom, hits me right between the eyes, right? I had no blemishes on my face, not that I'm that beautiful or anything, but I had nothing, right? No marks, boom, right between the eyes. And he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, you all right? I said, I'm fine. I said, man, I don't care what you hit me with. I said, just get me out of here. I have a wife at home. I got to get out of here. So he's dragging me from there. He goes, man, you're a heavy fuck, And I was like, yeah. I said, I'm sorry. So I was going to join Weight Watchers today, as a matter of fact, with my friend Nico, I said, but he goes, yeah, no, pulling the next guy. And then they finally get me out to the ambulance. Now the guy's there and he's trying to assess me and stuff. I said, listen, I'm fine. I said, I need a phone. I have to call my wife. I need a phone. Can somebody please give me a phone?
Oh yeah, because you lost your phone.
I lost that. That got ripped off of me. The briefcase I had on my back, that was gone. That was ripped off of me. So I get into the ambulance and one of the paramedics, he goes, all right, I got a phone, it's still working. I think he had one of the services that wasn't knocked down because of the antennas. There was different ones, but most of them were on the World Trade Center. So everybody lost communication that day on the phones. This one happened to be working. And I called my house and my wife answered the phone.
And it was him. And he was like, Louise. And I was like, Pasquale! And I just screamed so loud and everybody was like, Pasquale! And the whole house just like shook and everyone was crying and laughing and screaming. And I was trying to understand him and he was like, I'm like, where are you? Where are you? Oh my God, it's Pasquale, And he was like,
I'm okay, So, I said, she goes, what are you doing? Where are you going? I said, oh, they're taking me to the hospital. I asked them, they said, I'm going to St. Vincent's Hospital. She's like, okay, call me from there. Is everything okay? Oh my God, Pasquale, you're alive. I can't believe it, And again, people in the background, my friend Mike Potenza, good friend of mine, gets on the phone and he was like,
where the hell are you? What the fuck happened? What's going on? And he tried to take it all down and they arranged then. He's like, I don't know. I don't even know, Mike. I don't know. I was in the building. It fell. It came down. Is she okay? And, is Louise doing, whatever. He was so concerned about, us and our family and the baby and, and all that, So.
What a guy.